News Interactive is brought to you by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Right, so Aisha is back and she's now going to be telling us all that's coming up on Joy News Interactive. Welcome once again, Aisha.
Thank you, Israel. So it's time to hear from you on the segment that is brought to you by Airtel, the smartphone network. Enjoy more talk, longer text, and all the internet browsing with an Airtel Too Much pack. All you need to do is to dial *202#. To get in touch with us, please join us on Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Find us on facebook.com/joynewsontv. Our handles on Twitter is also Joy News on TV. You can also send us a message via WhatsApp number 0560800000. Remember to add your name and your location.
Right, so indeed, add your name and location from wherever you're watching. I know some of you are watching on the internet live on YouTube. I just got a message from a friend who's watching in Queens in New York. So send us a message as well. What's the number again?
0560800000.
800,000. So you send a message from wherever you are and we're going to be reading it.
Okay, so let's get down to business. 50 years ago today, Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was overthrown from power. Now, according to the secretary of the first president, Dr. KB Asante, Ghanaian standard of living is deteriorating and far from the comfortable and happy lives they lived 50 years ago. He says, quote, even though back then we didn't have much, life was much more interesting and happier than it is today, unquote. Do you agree with him, or do you think the country is in a better position now?
In terms of development, there's a whole lot of things ongoing in this country. And then successive governments after Nkrumah, they are doing their possible best to ensure that this country has been transformed, to ensure that, people get whatever the basic things that they need. Now, if you look around, you can see that even our educational system has changed. Unlike previously that people would have to trek several miles just to go to school, or even the shift system, which I was even part, I also attended the shift system. Now you see that, all those things are faded out because a lot of infrastructure, school buildings have been put up to take care of all those things. Aside school, Kwame Nkrumah also did a lot when it comes to, our transport system.
We can actually compare ourselves to other countries because we are actually a growing country. We are now coming up to match to the international standards. So yes, I can say that we are getting there, even though we are slow, but we'll definitely get there because we can't just do it at a time, just like that. So I think yes, we will get there slowly.
Looking at things nowadays, well, I can't really say Ghana is in the, let me say, in a 100% position in a year. I always say, anyway, we are still moving on. Yeah, we are still moving on because the way things are going, things are really hard. Yes, this situation, and it seems we are lacking behind. Yeah, we are lacking behind because when you look at other countries, that even we got our independence before them, but they are still progressing. But we are still on our we are what do you call it, a standstill.
Not really, because looking at those times. The accounts will say Benjamin Bray. At those times that technology hasn't come and all those. Look at the vision that the man had, building silos and the Temamoto and all this. Like we should have advanced, but look at where we are. So I don't think we've done much.
Ghana is in a better position because John want to do his best. Kufo do his best. The late president must also do his best, and the current government is also doing his best as a country. They are all doing their best to help the economy to grow. But as for Kwame Nkrumah, to be frank and to be sincere with you, we could do better than those presidents, the past president.
Now time to listen to what you've been saying from wherever you are on Facebook.
Yeah.
What are people
Facebook,
saying?
I'll get to the Facebook comments, but I just want to make a comment to say that, yes, if you're asking if we're better, KBS says we're not better off.
Yeah.
I say we're better, except we are not where we're supposed to be. Certainly there's been development in this country.
I think I want to agree with you.
There has been development, no doubt about it.
But it's been slow.
Is it where we want to be, or is it where Kwame Nkrumah projected that we would be? Certainly not.
We're not there yet.
Certainly not. So we posted it on Facebook. Let's see what some of you are saying on Facebook. Mohammed Astro says, Ghana is still better with infrastructure development everywhere in Ghana. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama actually takes the steps of Kwame Nkrumah. Fatai says, Dr. Santi's statement is absolutely impossible. 50 years ago, how many graduates, industries, hospitals, hotels, houses, and other basic facilities are wearing Ghana? I mean, clearly, that's the question. That's the point I was making. Justice Essenam says, I think it would be nonsensical on the part of anyone to compare yesterday's Ghana to today's Ghana. But what was the population of Ghana and now? Nantoma says, Ghana was better 50 years ago because the agricultural sector was booming. Farmers could get fertilizer and other farm implements at a cheaper price, which enabled them to harvest enough produce to feed the population. People could access health services for free because NHIS was working effectively, and then Antoma goes on and on and on and on. Kojo says, we are never in a better place with these hard economic times, social insecurity, lack of basic social amenities and infrastructure, etc., etc. It's even worse for the past 5 years. I wasn't alive then, but Dr. Santi is undoubtedly right. 59 years ago, down, and I think Ghana deserves far better than currently. And he hashtags change is coming. Bresser says the overthrow of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah has caused Ghana's woes. And John Perry says, amazing. Many of you are just making inputs. That is neither here nor there, just because you can't just be appraising myopically, looking at only one side of the coin. There are more roads, networks, graduates, and others, but some of those things alone cannot make our country developed. All right, so lots of comments, but yeah.
You can read more because I'm still trying to get the messages on WhatsApp.
All right, let me go to Mahamaba says, Mahamaba says, Ghana has never been good after Kwame Nkrumah's till now. Even common food for the ordinary Ghanaian is a problem. A nation that a citizen finds it difficult in getting a common citizen passport. We have politicized everything, and that is killing the nation. Michael says, please, can you compare Ghana's popular 50, I'm sure population is what you wanted to say, 50 years ago and now? This is funny. Today is bad because of yesterday, and tomorrow will be determined by today in political analysis. Why should Dr. Kwame Nkrumah sponsor other African countries with Ghana's money? Build houses, stadium, ammunition, etc. He also chased his own countrymen imprisoned, and he goes on and on and on. But yes, as I was indicating, we're certainly better, but where we should have been a whole lot better. And probably KP Asante is looking at himself and the ordinary Ghanaian at the time, and the ordinary Ghanaian now. He feels that the ordinary Ghanaian at the time was better off than the ordinary Ghanaian now. But except the ordinary Ghanaian in Nkrumah's time couldn't have access to an iPad and all the technological gadgets, the technology we have now.
Well, even now,
there were not as many cars back then.
Definitely.
Okay, but of course the population was under control. There was enough to go around for everybody.
But I'm sure if we had gone the pace Nkrumah was going, like you said, would have been far, far better than they are now.
If you compared the Ghana at the time with other countries, then we're far ahead.
Okay.
But right now, we're way back. That's what you can say.
And I understand the pain of people like KB Asante who feel that Nkrumah had a certain plan. For instance, if it come to industries, he wanted Ghana to be a country that could produce everything, so we don't even import. Now we import matches, and we even
import virtually everything.
Toothpick
and some cocoa as well.
You see, so I mean that was Nkrumah's dream. So I think I understand the cry and pain of people like KB Asante. We'll take a break on J and I will be back with more. Welcome back. Now, some teenagers have had to resort to selling their bodies to fishermen at Nkrumah in the Nkrumah constituency of Greater Accra in exchange for some fish. This is to enable them fend for themselves. Can you believe this? Because their parents can't afford to put them through school. Would you judge a teenager for selling her body to take care of her education?
Poverty is running this country. If I may talk about, like, if I may say something, you know, in terms of if run our economic system, poverty is one thing that Ghana is trying to fight against. And so in this case, I don't really judge the lady or the teenagers, you know, for selling their body, you know, to feed, you know, to go to school or to feed their family. One way or other, to me, I blame poverty. I know the government is trying. The government is not trying hard enough, you know, to eliminate poverty or eradicate poverty in the system. So I don't judge them.
It's a time that the government have to come to this aid to see how these things are happening to the children. Yeah, so they have to have a look at it. And I think maybe the parents have no job on themselves to take care of their children, and I think that is not fine for the children to sell, to sleep with the fishermen. This is, I think this is more of an abuse to the children.
Yeah, I wouldn't judge her because he wants to make it in life. He wants to go through education, and it seems there is no way he or she can do that. So she has to resort to that. And I'm not justifying the act of selling one's body to do what you want, but it's like it has happened. And I believe parents, this comes to giving birth to the number of children or kids you can cater for. Because if not because of neglection of responsibility by the parents, they wouldn't go in for such a thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's not right. Even our culture doesn't tell us to sell our body for education. I mean, you can still sell, you can still do many jobs to further your education. We all do it. Now the system is so free that you can go to work and then still go to school. For me, for instance, I go to work and then in the morning and then in the night I go for classes. So I wouldn't allow anybody to sell their body for education, exchange of education.
But this is a teenager whose parents are in abject poverty, so they can't cater for her. So this is the means that she has resorted to.
Yeah, so this is the time that the teenager is supposed to come out from herself and then tell herself that I have to do something for myself, but not necessarily selling your body in exchange for education.
Okay, so let's check the comments coming on Facebook. But before you do that, Izzy, we had a problem with the internet, so couldn't read some of the messages. Let me just pick two of the messages that came on the Nkrumah and now Ghana issue. And this one says, 1992, there were less than 10 households that won a TV set in my hometown in Tumu. We had to go and farm to get money to be able to pay and watch TV. This certainly is not the case even in the remotest village in Ghana now. Okay, so that's your comments. And this one says, oh yeah, are we talking about it as if we don't know most girls are into sex? Okay, so he's talking about this issue now. We'll get to that. Let's look at the story, the messages on Facebook.
Right, so on Facebook, Baby Lil says, trading sex for fish. Has it gotten to that? Jesus, we really need change. We don't care who is coming. but we need change. Where is the school feeding program? I thought the government said it's still running, or they don't serve the kids with fish. Asem has come again. So they're not actually, well, the fish they're looking for is to sell so that they can pay their fees or fund their way through school. Innocent says, at times I hate comments, but this one irritates me. See, who is to be blamed? The parents, girls, or the men? You don't know what you're saying. I have an eyewitness to similar problems. Parents don't have any means of making money, nothing to feed on. Just imagine if there is enough for the parents to buy this fish you talk of, will the girls go in for such an act? It's only God who can help. You know, a lot of people are misconstruing it and they're understanding it to mean that the girls are actually going for fish probably to eat. No, but it's fish they want to sell so they can make money and fund their way through school, because the parents are unable to afford
exactly.
to.
This one says, I personally don't believe that these girls always sell themselves to men because of education. They enjoy doing it, and that is one of the problems of adolescents. The adolescent period is a very dangerous period in the development of the child, if not well managed, especially when parents are careless and shirk their responsibilities. Of course, so it comes back to parents who are not. And this one says, oh, why are we talking about it as if we don't know most girls are into this sex thing for money? Or is it because they have not made it public, just that they won't tell you they are trading their bodies for money? But in reality, many ladies and girls are into it. And so the comments are coming, and let me pick the last one. Well, this one is talking about tomorrow's State of the Nation address and what he's expecting from the president. Unfortunately, that's where time will allow us. I enjoyed myself with you. I hope you did too.
And we must actually apologize to those of us who are sending text messages on WhatsApp. We didn't revive the WhatsApp platform early enough for your messages to come through, and so we couldn't read a lot of them. We do apologize.
We truly apologize. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Have a good evening.
Joy News Interactive.